Hi there, and welcome to our 4-week weight loss challenge. And this is Marcelo, you're a virtual personal trainer and fitness nutrition coach. Week 2, yay. First of all, I want to just remind you that this is not your personalized weight loss program, okay? This is information that I share with my personal training clients, but also it's a way that I can show you how in only 4 weeks, with consistent healthy eating, you can change your body. Seriously, it takes about 21 days to break bad habits and create new ones. So guess what? You have for a week, 28 days. Hopefully, if you do the right things, if you follow my instructions and you are consistent in 4 weeks, you will defeat those bad habits and create new ones. And then, of course, you keep going and create a healthy lifestyle, okay? This is information, not your personalized weight loss program. Why? Because people have food allergies, they have many other issues that only a doctor can address that, like a registered dietitian. You should consult a registered dietitian to create a plan that suits your specific needs, okay? So let's do a little quick review about week 1. This doesn't mean that you only do it for 1 week. No, and week 1 is the kickstart. Now you keep rolling with these behaviors, with these ideas through the entire challenge. And why not? And create this as a lifestyle. But in 4 weeks, just to show you how you can change your mind and body in only 4 weeks. Okay, so week 1. At this point, you're ready. Change your entire pantry, fridge, and freezer, right? If you live, you have a partner, a spouse, or kids, of course, it's going to be very difficult for them to follow your new healthy eating behavior. So what are you going to do? Again, you create your healthy shelf just for you and let them keep going the way they were doing. Now, if they want to join you, hey, even better, right? But yes, it's very difficult sometimes when a person, a mom or the dad is decided to change a healthy eating behavior and everybody else is doing whatever they want. We have to have extra discipline, but eventually, guess what? They are going to follow you. Trust me. Okay, so week 1, you change all of that and keep going, roll on, keep going, roll over every week with these new behaviors. Be aware of your calories. You don't know, you have no idea how many calories are you eating right now. You might think, it's not many, I don't eat much. Yeah, we all say that. We don't eat much, but we don't eat much of what? The healthy items. We eat the unhealthy item with a lot of calories. So you need to know exactly, more or less, how many calories you are eating to create a plan to address that. How do you know that? By start tracking your calories. I know it's tedious in the beginning, but trust me, do it for a couple of weeks. Once you know exactly, more or less, what are the items that has the most amount of calories, you either swap for something healthier, something smaller, junior version, or try to cut it out of your diet. You don't need that. Swap for something healthier, but you need to start tracking from day 1 to create awareness. You can use MyFitnessPal or any other track calorie device. There are so many apps, but MyFitnessPal is very easy to use, okay? So track your calories and try to, if you are a female, try to maintain between 12 and 1,400 calories per day. And if you are a male, 1,800 to 2,000 calories per day, okay? How do you know that? By tracking. Maintain a low carb, high protein diet. Of course, the low carb, refined carbs, the starchy carbs are the ones that spike the blood sugar. Remember, we try to keep our sugar stable so the insulin doesn't have to come to work and keep storing extra calories, glucose, where we need them for later on to use in muscle, liver, and fat cells. If we keep the blood sugar stable, the body will use the fat storage. We all have some fat somewhere that can be used, okay? So, and the protein, why? Because protein satisfies hunger better than refined carbs. It keeps you full longer, right? I mentioned that before. I sound repetitive, but yes, protein. This is the thing. You are going to eat something. It doesn't have protein, don't eat it, period. Eat protein to keep yourself full longer, okay? So the 3 meals a day, try, make an effort, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's it, no snacks. But I know that we are going to have snacks anyways. If you are going to do it again, make sure that it's with some type of protein, healthy snack, no more than 150 calories, okay? And the three enemies of our waistline: sugar, refined carbs, and alcohol. I know, all the good stuff, right? But we have to minimize that or cut that from your diet for 4 weeks. You will see tremendous difference in your body when you cut those 3 enemies for only 4 weeks. Trust me, just make an effort and you will see a result right away from the very first month. Okay, so this week, remember, the week 1, you carry on with that for the entire 4 weeks, and later on, why not to make us part of your lifestyle? This week, we are going to add more strategies to week 1, okay? Very simple. We are going to emphasize the 3 areas for weight loss: the tour of the supermarket. I know you know this kind of thing. It's going to be a reminder how to read nutrition labels and ingredients, and controlling sugar craving. That's the most challenging, okay? So let's move on to the 3 areas that we are going to concentrate during these 4 weeks, and why not later on as well. First of all, I mentioned that before, low carb, high protein diet to avoid spiking blood sugar. I just explained that, and keep you full longer. Right now, you already got it. I don't have to repeat that again. You know, low carb, high in protein, period. If you are going to snack that doesn't have protein, don't eat it. Now, the next thing that you have been doing every single day is the walking, physical activity. As something simple as walking every single day. Aim for 8,000 to 10,000 steps. Again, you don't have to do all at once. It will take you maybe, I don't know, a long time, but try to break that down by walking in the morning, lunch, and dinner, or after dinner. 10 to 15 minutes will do the trick. For every single mile, it's about 100 calories that you burn, right? A mile can be done in 15, let's say 20 minutes, if you walk slow, right? 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. You have 3 miles in a day by broken down in 3 parts. I'm sure that you can find those 20 minutes each time. 3 miles, 300 calories. Now, if you eat the donut, you put it back on. Try not to do that, okay? So the simple physical activity is the walking. Now, in any weight loss program, unfortunately, we might lose some muscle. That's why it's very important to eat protein, but also to lift weights. I know some of you might not want to work out at all, but trust me, you don't have to go to the gym to work out. You can have a set of dumbbells at home, and if you don't know where to start, I will be happy to give you a complimentary session from my virtual strength training from home. Just a set of dumbbells, very simple, but you have to build muscle, not just for the weight loss program to compensate the weight loss, right? It's because it's a healthy ticket for longevity. I tell everybody, look, you are over 40, you must forget about the high intensity cardio, forget about the boot camp, forget about all those crazy jumping and killing yourself. No, lift weights. Why? Because the human, our peak is at 35, 40 years old. After that, unfortunately, we are going down. It's something natural. It's called aging. There is nothing we can do about it, but we can always minimize that. Weightlifting will do the best of both worlds. We build muscle for longevity, healthy muscle, and will strengthen the bones. Ladies, unfortunately, with the missing of estrogen at a certain age, ladies lose bone density faster than males. So ladies, if you are not lifting weights, start lifting weights, okay? And then the overnight intermittent fasting. That's step number 3 of the 3 areas, right? The intermittent fasting is optional. It's not for everybody. I mentioned that before. You should consult your physician before starting any strategy of intermittent fasting. There are so many ways to do it. My favorite is overnight, because most of those hours we are going to be sleeping. But you can Google the benefit of fasting. There are so many, but for our purpose, for weight loss, intermittent fasting will help us to improve weight loss, but also will help to decrease belly fat and visceral fat. Belly fat is or subcutaneous. Subcutaneous fat is the fat that is stored under the skin, right? The belly fat. Now, the visceral fat, we don't see that one. The visceral fat is the fat that is surround the organs. That's the most dangerous fat. Why? Because that fat, visceral fat, is responsible for metabolic syndrome, for high blood pressure, cholesterol, heart failure, diabetes. So that's why it's very, very important that we minimize visceral fat, and intermittent fasting help with that. Help reduce visceral fat, reduce that, also help to control blood sugar levels. And guess what? The body has to keep functioning. If we don't put anything in our body, the body will tap into something for energy. Guess what? The intermittent fasting helps to tap into fat cells for energy. Bingo. So those are the three main areas that any weight loss program will concentrate on. And this is the thing. 80%, believe it or not, 80% of your success or for your successful weight loss comes from what we put in our body through food and drinks. 20% is exercise. Don't do it the opposite way. A lot of people at the gym do the opposite way. Kill themselves at the gym, but they don't watch their diet. They are always the same. There is no changes. Believe it or not, unfortunately, it's the truth. You have to create a healthy eating behavior to lose weight, and the exercise will keep it off. The weightlifting is another story because build healthy muscle for longevity. Also strengthen the bone. Don't forget that. Okay, I don't want to get into that. Sometimes I get so excited. Okay, the tour of the supermarket. I know you know this is very simple, but trust me on this one. Don't ever go to the supermarket hungry. No, no, no. Because we eat with our eyes. We eat with our eyes. If we are hungry, we are going to purchase all the items that we are not supposed to have at home. And guess what? We're going to spend more money because we buy stuff just because we are hungry. So don't do that. Don't ever go to the supermarket hungry. Now, what we're going to do, the first thing that I go to the supermarket, I go like this, la, 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 the bakery aisle, right? Just go through that. Doesn't exist. Start from where? The produce, the fruit and veggies. In any weight loss program, you have to get 80% of your supermarket or your groceries should be fruit and veggies. Remember, and it's very affordable. When people says, man, eating healthy is expensive. No, 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 no. It's not expensive. I do the grocery shopping. I know how much everything costs. Fruit and veggies are very affordable. You know what is expensive? Alcohol is expensive. Smoking is expensive. Drive-through is expensive. The concoction coffee at Starbucks is expensive. All right, and I will not go into this, but fruit and veggies are not. Okay, so load the cart with fruit and veggies, and every single dish has to have protein and veggies to keep you full longer, to create value. Okay, the next aisle that you're going for, the dairy aisle, and of course low sugar and healthy fats. And then the proteins. I know protein could be expensive. I know. But this is the thing. You don't have to have a 30 ounces steak and 2 broccolis. No, it's the opposite way. The meat is just for the flavor of the meat. If you want to add an extra source of protein, add another portion of beans, plant-based protein, or lentils. So you have the animal product, the plant-based protein, and then guess what? Onions, mushrooms, and green beans, broccoli, and why not quinoa? Quinoa is the best of both worlds because it has good sources of fiber and protein, right? So you create a bowl or a dish with small portion of meat, but a lot of veggies. And guess what? The more colorful your plate, the more vitamins you are consuming, okay? So that's the aisle and nutrition labels. Of course, every aisle you should learn what you are putting in your body by reading nutrition labels. And that is next. The reading nutrition label is very, very simple. You only have to have a good eye to find the sugar. Yes, sugar is hidden everywhere. Of course, anything with more than 10 grams per serving of sugar, forget it. Find a substitution. It's too much sugar at once, or added sugar. Sometimes, if you follow me in social media, I like to do this sugar police and discover all the sugar hidden in products. For instance, not too long ago, the Naked smoothie, oh my goodness, loaded with sugar. I can mention endless items with sugar and added sugar, right? So you don't want that. Try to choose items with the least amount of sugar. And this is the thing. Sugar has different names. Manufacturers today are so smart. Listen, the companies, the food companies, they care less about our health. They are in the business to make money. They know that sugar is addictive, so they will put sugar in everything. And unfortunately, kids with cereal, they trick with the cover of cartoons and whatever to, hey, that mommy, buy me this. Look for the sugar. They are loaded with sugar. Cereal is sugar with fruit flavor. Okay, anyways, in other countries, you know what? I was looking at one of, I think it was Chile. Chile, they are forbidden to put cartoons in the cereal box. No, you see the brands Kellogg, but the tiger is not there. The Fruit Loops, you see the name Fruit Loops, but I don't know, it must pronounce the name of I guess it's a parrot, I don't know. But the cartoon is not there. It's forbidden because they put low and say, no, there's too much sugar. So slow down with the sugar for kids. Anyways, I don't want to go into too much detail, but you got me, right? The least amount of sugar per item, that's the one that you're going to consume. Now, look for, and you can Google different name of sugar, artificial sweeteners. This is very smart where company don't say, hey, this is not sugar. This is an artificial sweetener. Okay, but come with names like sucralose or sorbitol and so on and so on. Look out for these cues. Sucralose, right? Everything that finishes with lose is an artificial sweetener. Or sorbitol, everything that finishes with tol is another name for sugar. So just be careful with that. Artificial sweetener, yes, it helps to consume less sugar, refined sugar, but it makes you crave for more carbs. So you get those chemicals in your body, and this one says, what is the sugar? It start making craving for more sugar or carbohydrates. So just be careful. Try to go with least amount of sugar. Ingredients. Some product has a lot of ingredients. Why? It's because manufacturers get in partnership with chemistries to create chemicals that trigger our brain to make us addicted to that product. Have you ever looked for Dunkin' Donuts and turn around the package for the ingredients? Not just the nutrition label. You also have to look for where it says ingredients. It has like 40 items. What is that? All those chemical concoctions that create in our body. Whoa, this is so delicious. I'm getting addicted to this. And thus is mainly all the foods, okay? So be cautious, be smart, choose wisely, read nutrition labels, the least amount of sugar, and the ingredients, try to go for 10 or less. This is the thing. The less amount of ingredient a product have, the closest to whole foods, right? Apple, how many ingredients has an apple? One. It's a whole food. A donut has like 4 ingredients. It's an invented food. It's not even food, right? Anyways, I don't want to go into that, but you got me, right? Be smart, choose wisely, mainly when it's something for your kids, okay? So 10 items or less, and then the least amount of items, the closest to whole foods. That's the idea. But we have to be smart because in food labels in the front always is the tricky part. You always have to rotate and look what is in the ingredient that you are going to consume. But also in the front, you will see something with low fat, low sugar. Yes, low fat means that they increase the sugar. Why? Because the flavor has to be somewhere. If you eat something that's flavorless or tastes nothing, you will not buy it again. Food manufacturing company want you to keep buying over and over again. That's how they make money. So, or vice versa, when say low sugar, okay, look for the fat. Usually increase the fat to compensate for the flavor. So be smart, choose wisely, don't follow for the low fat, low sugar. Turn around and look what you are eating, okay? Create that habit, please. Now, sugar craving, this is the this is the challenge of the challenges. But the idea is that to create a plan. For instance, how to control that. It's very difficult. I'm not going to lie to you, but everything is a habit. If you create a habit for 21 days, 28 days to get up at 5 a.m., guess what? There is going to be a point of time that you don't use the alarm clock anymore because your body already created that habit. It's the same with sugar craving. Eat a balanced diet. That is, of course, we are going to eat a balanced diet to keep us full longer, to get all the nutrients that the body needs, and Whole Foods doesn't have enough high content of calories. That's when people say, oh, 1,500, 1,200 calories, it's too little. No, Whole Foods, 1,200 calories is a lot. You give it a try. Try MyFitnessPal, and you will see that it's a lot. In highly processed food, no, it's one meal. One meal is 1,200 calories with no nutrients. But eat a balanced diet. Why? Because it will help to stabilize the blood sugar level. Remember, we try not to spike the blood sugar, to keep it stable, so we will not craving for anything, all right? Of course, don't skip meals. Why? Because if I'm hungry, and I'm human, when I'm going to have a seat to eat, I'm going to devour the food because I'm hungry. So of course, you have to get a good timing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Don't skip meals. If you need a snack, remember, have to be with protein. Doesn't have protein, don't eat it. Now, plan and prep yourself. Don't get yourself caught with nothing, because if you are going for a long meeting, hours in the meeting, of course, and there is nothing available healthy, okay, I don't like to recommend supplements ever. Only special occasions. Supplement, we will talk about supplements in week 3 or week 4, I don't remember. We will talk about supplements later on. But this is a supplement, as the word says, is supplementation to the healthy eating. But prepare yourself with maybe a protein bar with low in sugar and maybe 3 to 4 items, period. There are bars there that you can find with low ingredients, low sugar. Prepare yourself. If you know that you're going to be in a meeting at the office for 2-3 hours, a lot of hours without food, don't get the donuts that always bring part of the meeting. Bring your own protein bar, for instance. Or I like to carry with me a mix of my own trail mix with nuts and raisins. More about snacks in the next one. So I carry that with me. Doesn't need to be refrigerated, right? So in my backpack, if I am between clients, I like 5-minute break. I will have whatever fit in the palm of my hand, a mix of nuts and seed or nuts and raisins, just for a little sugar. But prepare yourself, trust me, and you will not have craving for sugar. Now, drink plenty of water. As I mentioned before, water is the way to go for any weight loss program. Why? Because let's say I'm close to the next healthy meal, I will get a big glass of water. We will do the trick. Or cravings come in waves, come and goes. If I have one big glass of water and I wait 2 minutes, the craving will go away. Just give it a try. And drink water not when you are thirsty. By the time you are thirsty, you're already dehydrated. Dehydration creates a confusion in our brain that, oh man, I don't know if I'm thirsty or I'm hungry. Guess what? I will be hungry and I will be craving for sugar if I'm dehydrated. So please drink plenty of water. I mentioned before, there are many ways that you can do it, but the simplest is divide your body weight by 2, and that's the amount of water in ounces that you should be drinking per day. I am 160, so 80 ounces of water is what I need per day, give and take. If it's a hot day, I will drink more. Even if I'm working out, I will drink more water. All right. And the last one is start a strength training program, with or without me, but start lifting weight. Trust me, it's the healthy ticket for longevity. Strength training can help control sugar craving by improving insulin sensitivity. But also, guess what? When we invest time and effort working out, lifting weight, and building lean muscle that is so difficult to build, it's very easy to lose, because if we don't eat the right stuff and we go into this program that promise you to lose 20 pounds in 1 month. Yeah, you can do that. But guess what? Part of the muscle, 3 parts of that weight loss is from muscle. And it's hard to build, so hard to build. So going back to, it's so hard to build. And we put so much effort that you are going to be more conscious of what you eat. Trust me, you are going to be more conscious what you eat. And when you have sugar cravings, instead of going for the refined sugar, you could have something healthier. And here is the quick snacks to help with sugar craving. Of course, everybody is different. These are just ideas, okay? So always go for fiber, high in fiber, protein, and healthy fats if you are going to have a snack. But here is a few ideas. Almond with raisins. Of course, you don't have to put too many raisins. Just whatever fit in the palm of your hand, 12 almonds and maybe 5 raisins. Something like that, more or less, give and take. Greek yogurt and blueberries. Blueberries are good for antioxidant and also are very low in calories. Greek yogurt, loaded with protein. Same with peanut butter. You have to be careful with peanut butter. About 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, it will do the job. More than that, because peanut butter is made with fat as well, you have to be careful. Now, if you have food allergies, please don't consume peanut butter, okay? That's why you have to consult a registered dietitian. Peanut butter, a lot of people has allergies to peanuts, okay? So celery sticks and peanut butter is one of the good combination. The other one, my favorites are apple and peanut butter. Also peanut, my dog's name, love apple and peanut butter, all right? So we love that. And then low-fat cheese, blueberries, again, for the antioxidant. Baby carrots and hummus, one of my favorites. Sometimes I'm hungry and dinner is close. I start with baby carrots and hummus. Hummus is a source of protein because it's made with beans. So guess what? By the time I eat dinner, I enjoy my dinner. I don't devour my dinner because I have a pre-dinner with baby carrots and hummus. Could be a snack or pre-dinner snack. And sweet potato. I can now get tired of sweet potato. I love sweet potato. I always bake in advance sweet potato, and I have a hand in the fridge, cut it in 2 sweet potato and cut it in half. 1/2 is 1 snack. It's less than 1 sweet potato is about 100 calories. So half is 40 to 50 calories, depending on the size. And it has great nutrients and it's sweet. And if you still think, no, sweet potato is not too sweet to me, okay. I don't recommend this, but if you have to, a pinch of cinnamon will do the trick to make it sweeter, okay? Now, here is my hack of the hacks for how to eat something unhealthy if you need for a snack, all right? It's not too unhealthy, but I like chocolate. But I like dark chocolate, 85% dark chocolate. I'm still eating a piece of fruit. Why? Because we need to create value. If I go for the chocolate, I will kill the chocolate in 1 shot, right? But if I eat the fruit first, I always make sure that we have mandarins. I love mandarins. It's like your oranges, but smaller, apples and bananas. Non-negotiable. We always have to have that at home. And when I'm on the road, bananas is the way to go because I have to peel them and that's it. No need to be washed, right? But when I am about to eat something, a snack that is not as healthy, I will eat a fruit first to create value, and then 1 or 2 pieces of chocolate. By the time I eat the chocolate, I savor that chocolate. It's mindful eating. I smell it, I taste it, I chew it, savor it, right? But if I don't have anything before, I'm gonna kill the whole tablet without noticing, right? The same thing with any unhealthy snack that I'm about to have. I'm human, sometimes I'm going to have something that is unhealthy, but it's once in a blue moon, right? For instance, my wife loves to cook and she makes a tiramisu, homemade tiramisu for dessert. Even if it's the healthy version of tiramisu, I always make sure that I have a fruit first and then a portion of tiramisu. If I don't eat the fruit first, I will kill the whole tiramisu. More or less, that's the idea. Eat something first before you are going to enjoy that piece of a snack that is not that healthy. Deal? All right, give it a try. And now, almost done. As I mentioned before, if you don't remember anything about what we spoke today, at least remember these 3 things. Read nutrition labels and the ingredients. Remember, be smart and choose wisely Start reading what you are putting in your body. Everything that looks healthy, most of the time is not. Food manufacturer companies are in this business to make money. They care less about our health. It's our responsibility to choose wisely and put something in our body with good nutrients. Okay, so read nutrition labels. Practice controlling sugar craving. Of course, these tricks are not suitable for everybody, but try to choose one, stick to that. If that doesn't work, move on to the next one. Something's gonna work for you. Trust me. When there is a will, there is a way. Okay, so practice controlling your sugar craving by having a substitute or any hack that we mentioned before. And number 3, I cannot get tired enough to emphasize the importance of weightlifting, mainly if you are over 40 years old. If you don't believe me, just do your own research, Google why it's important to lift weight after 40 years old. Okay, we start losing muscle mass and bone density. Those two, we cannot afford to lose them as we get advanced age. So it's never too late to start building muscle, okay? And you, ladies, I know sometimes you had the misunderstanding that lifting weight will make a woman bulky. No, 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 no. Those bodybuilders that you see, female bodybuilders that look like a man, they put other stuff in their bodies. It's not just natural food and over-the-counter supplements. No, no, no. They put other kind of juices that I will not go into that. We will talk about supplements later on. But it's another world. Bodybuilding is another world. They look like a man. Their voice changes. They get more deep voice. You can tell a person that is building muscle in a different way than bodybuilders natural. Google, do me a favor. Google natural bodybuilding and with the steroids bodybuilding. You will see the muscle size is huge. It's totally different. The natural bodybuilding with natural food, the person just look a fit person. That's it. A fit person comparing to a monster that it creates so much muscle because they put other type of juices in their body. I don't want to get into much of that. Just remember, this week, add on to the previous week, read nutrition labels, try to create some hacks that work for you to control sugar craving, and start lifting weight with or without me. I make it easier for everybody because I know every person is super busy, but we can all connect 30 minutes online to do a weightlifting session and then move on, keep going with your life. The 30 minutes that you spend going one way to the gym and way back is 1 hour. In 30 minutes, I can help you start a strength training program from home. Complimentary session, no pressure. Whenever you're ready, let me know. One more thing before I go, the optional overnight intermittent fasting. As I mentioned before, you must consult your physician before you start this because it's not for everybody. If you are doing the intermittent fasting in week 1, okay, the second week is going to be the same, but the 12-12 is going to become 13-11. Why? You're just going to add 1 more hour of intermittent fasting. Let's say that your last meal finished at 7 p.m. Okay, you are going to don't eat anything after that. Herbal tea, coffee, that will not break the fast, okay? Now, if you put any sweetener, it's going to be a dirty intermittent fasting. But coffee, tea, water, lemon water, that's good to go. It's even better, but coffee at night, maybe not. Tea, herbal tea, or lemon water, warm lemon water. So at some point, you are going to bed and sleep. I hope you sleep at least 7 hours to recover all your energies. And then this time you are going to have breakfast at 8 a.m. Now, ladies and gents, whatever amount of calories you are going to have during the day, try to make it from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. that you have dinner, right? The point is, intermittent fasting is not, most people have this misunderstanding that it's calorie restriction. No, intermittent fasting is just a different way that you're going to suit all your meals in a 12, in this case, 11-hour window. You can have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but in just 11-hour window. Try not to eat anything for the 13 hours. Why? Because that way, first of all, intermittent fasting help preventing eating snacks after dinner. Stabilize the blood sugar. Remember, we want to keep the blood sugar stable so nothing spikes. The insulin doesn't have to come to work and store extra glucose in places that we don't need. We already have enough fat cells. We need to use that for fuel. Intermittent fasting help to use fat as fuel and help reduce visceral fat. Remember the fat that we were talking about surrounding the organs. That's the most dangerous one. Now, low carb diet and intermittent fasting is the best of both worlds in any weight loss program. Again, low carb diet and intermittent fasting is the best of both worlds for any weight loss program, because low carb don't spike the blood sugar. We need fat cells that are ready to be used for fuel. Intermittent fasting says, hey, we have to keep working. Where is the energy? Oh, whoa, there is a lot of storage here that we never tap into. Let's use that for fuel. Bingo. Finally, we use fat for fuel. Okay? All right, my friends. Thank you for being there. If you have any questions, you know you can contact me. Otherwise, let's get ready for week 3. Okay? Thank you and have a great day. Bye.